Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that show.
Yeah.
But
Sweet smell of victory.
It does smell good.
it's so hurtful. It's just the nerves. I think the nerves got to me.
Yeah.
That
The pressure.
Yeah.
I mean,
If it was like just like a chill at home kind of couch vibe, I would have smoked you guys.
it did take 2-on-1, so I'll give you that. But
Today on excuses.
All bragging aside, you still won, but it was 2-on-1.
Anyway, hello and welcome to Entertain This, a podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. I'm Tom. With me, we have Hayden back,
Yeah.
and we got that guy.
Hey,
Hi, Mitch.
hi.
What episode number is this?
This is
41.
41.
Oh, jeez.
We're in midlife crisis mode.
Yeah, we are.
Pretty soon we're going to buy a sports car.
We're almost at a year old. We're 11 weeks away from me being a year.
Oh, yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I didn't think about
Yeah.
that.
That's
Getting there.
insane.
How old are we in
So-
dog years?
That,
7.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
well, a lot of stuff happened this past week. You guys had your interesting episode.
It's
And,
a great episode.
Is that how we're going to describe it? Interesting?
the Tom rant escapades. And of course, Mitch's cell phone's
phone's
going
ringing.
off.
From Oklahoma. Bye.
Do you know anybody in Oklahoma?
Do you guys watch Mandalorian?
I did.
I have not been caught up yet.
Nah, I there's few people that agree with me, but I don't think it's turning out to be a good show.
This last episode was pretty interesting.
The one with what's her name, Gina,
Carano.
yeah, and Carl Weathers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. It was okay.
There's a lot of stuff it alludes to.
Yeah, I got it.
There's a lot of illusion.
I'm not like a versed Star Wars nerd, but I still understood and I appreciate that they're like starting to incept some of the Clone Wars stuff like that, like Bo, what's her face from
Bo-Katan.
yeah, like that's an interesting character, and I like Katie Sackhoff, the actress who played her. But even still, you're just kind of like, where are we going with this show? What is happening? He's been trying to get this baby to whoever for 13 episodes now?
Well,
He delivered the baby. The baby was supposed to go to the Empire.
Yeah.
To that creepy German guy.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously that was a bad idea. We knew that from the get-go.
but it was a bounty
Kidnaps the
hunter. He
baby.
didn't care.
Yeah.
But we knew he was a good guy. Just, you can tell from like the slow tilt of his helmet head.
And the fact that he's the main character.
We both just went,
There's a lot of expression in that helmet.
it's like Darth Vader, the many expressions of Vader.
I like how Darth Vader can't really move his head in most of the movies. He just kind of like wheels around.
Like the old Batman suits.
Yeah.
It's like he spins around, he's like full shoulder swing.
Yeah.
So anyway, to get back on track, because we're rambling about the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
somebody got punished because he wasn't here.
Oh, we jumping right into that.
Might as well jump right into it.
Beetleborgs.
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Is that the full name of the show?
I don't know.
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Such a terrible name. All right. Why are they bad? Is it bad isn't good?
Yeah, it's bad isn't good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it
They're
is.
not good.
I don't have nothing for that.
They're bad as in like awful. Like the first episode's like a bunch of kids, something about a haunted house. They break in. Jay Leno is hiding in an organ as a ghost. He gives them superpowers, and they can turn into just like sexually fetish-looking armored suits that go to war against a mummy.
Oh, what kind of fetishes do you have?
They have apparatuses coming off of their heads, man.
So they
They're
find
Beatles.
like the weird guy in the organ who looks like Elvis and Jay Leno had a kid.
He does a lot of masked jokes. I think
Yeah.
they were ripping off the mask pretty hard with that
Yeah,
character.
Probably, yeah.
Jim Carrey's thing.
But pretty much like they're like Wish. It's like they have these comics about the Beetleborgs, and they're like, oh, we want this to be real, and them be the Beetleborgs, and they get the powers. But they also accidentally create all the monsters from the comics
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they had to deal with. Although, did you notice that one kid, like when they're in the comic book store in the beginning, who's like a jerk,
Yeah, he's a nerd.
but he has a lot of money.
But
Like,
no,
the
that's
dude
the
just
funny.
pulls out like a bankroll. He's got like
That was the funniest part. Is he comes in and he's like being a bully and stuff like that, and he's bragging about being the captain of the chess club.
and
I
it's
was
like,
really
you are
confused
not the bully
with
in
his
this situation.
little blazer and stuff like that.
His driver.
Yeah. And so like their way to assert dominance was to challenge the main kids of the show, those scruffy looking nerf herders. One of them is like a girl who's got
Very tomboyish.
Yeah, she's wearing like baggy 90s clothes, but complete with a sideways hat. It's almost like a 40-year-old woman who did like the clothes design, just read a book on how kids dressed back then.
In like 1995.
Yeah. This is 96 to 98. So anyway, there's another kid, I guess the main one, I barely remember him.
I don't remember their names.
He's got a crush on the girl at the comic book store. That's all I remember. But anyways, the chess jocks challenge challenge these kids to a sleepover at a haunted house because that's what kids do. They say, I'm more manly than you. Let's go sleep in a haunted house and see what happens. And then I don't know. To be honest, I was falling asleep a lot watching this. There's zombies. They're not a zombie, a mummy. There's a mummy and
there's like a mummy of Frankenstein, like a werewolf and like a Dracula guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense as to why they're there.
They all live in this house.
Yeah.
And then Flabber living in the organ.
Yeah.
That's right. His name is Flabber. So dumb.
Then they pull the monsters like that they fight out of comics. Like they'll just pull it right off the page of the art.
Were these ghosty zombie people? Were they bad guys that the Beetleborgs had to fight at some point?
The ones that lived in the house?
Yeah.
No, they're just monsters that live there.
So they're just like characters.
Yeah.
They're like friends, but monsters or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Throughout the show, they kind of like chase them and like threaten them, but they never actually carry through with any of the threats.
You
You
kids.
meddling kids hanging out in our house with.
I'll eat your
piano
flesh one day.
when I get around to it.
So the kids were friends with Flabber, and then Flabber was friends with the monsters. The monsters hated the kids. So.
It was a painful watch. It was worse than Power Rangers. What was the other one you made me watch? The
Tattooed teenage alien fighters from
It was worse than that
from Beverly
because
Hills.
at least Tattooed Teenagers was adults and they could feign acting. These are just screamy, shrieky kids the entire time. And, I have kids. I like kids from a distance. But that being said, like watching kids be terrible actors is nails on a chalkboard. It's the worst experience, just the screaming, the fake screaming, which is like that stupid, haunted house thing that you hear all the time.
Yeah, that's how they scream.
That's how I react to their screaming. Like, just stop. I just want to slap them. I have no idea what the show's about. Something about they get their comic book wish to come true and they become these Power Ranger wannabe things.
They got to stop the bad guys.
Yeah, which
that they inadvertently brought to life as well.
Yeah, the research that I did, something about they wanted to break away from like the weekly Power Ranger bad guy trope to like you get to know the bad guys in this show. So like they have like
There's a lot of cuts to them.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
there's like character arcs of the bad guys and what they're about. If you care, I didn't care about the good guys, so I don't know. And then they used like the same set essentially. I think if I remember right, it was in Santa Paulo, California. But they had a Hollywood set, and they essentially had the haunted house, the comic book store, and whatever monster place that they fought.
Yeah,
at.
their little lair.
Yeah. So
I mean, Fear of Monsters, you got to have a lair.
of course
some
you
kind.
do.
They had a lot of fights right outside the haunted house.
Oh, did they?
It was
Yeah.
very convenient.
So-
They didn't have to travel very far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a painful watch. Not my favorite. Worse than Tattooed Teenagers. So
That's
Wow.
surprising.
yeah, I couldn't.
So this was a successful punishment, though.
Yep.
What would
Yep.
you rate this show?
A 2.
Well, you can thank the audience because they voted for it.
Thank you, audience. I wish I could return the love in some capacity. Maybe we should just start talking about, I don't know, really boring film stuff for this episode.
Well, see, the two of
Return
us
fame.
didn't get punished,
That's
so
true.
Which was nice. Which broke my streak of
We could
like
talk about
4 in a row.
We could talk about Call of Duty stats. I can hear my dad just clicking away right now.
He's just like, nope.
All right. There.
So punishment review done.
That's over, yeah.
Mitch, why don't you go ahead and plug our mediums of social?
oh yeah, we didn't do that to begin with. All right, we got our Facebook. We have the Entertain This podcast. We have the Entertain This page, and then on Twitter it's at entertain.this. Instagram is at this.entertain. Patreon is patreon.com entertain_this, and then we have our YouTube page, which is Entertain This.
Very nice.
Well done. You're red in the face.
Yeah, I'm kind of hot. I think I shouldn't have drank coffee before I started this.
You look very flushed.
Well, I'm very angry that I lost the Smash Bros. But, yeah, I don't know how they're going to cut this, but we just had a Smash Brothers,
From 2
duel.
episodes ago,
So, yeah.
which
I
victory was.
lost. Yeah.
We played, 4 rounds?
Yeah.
And we won 3 out of 4?
I won one against both of you, though, so that's something.
Yeah,
Still
but
a
you
little
lost
bit.
the other 3.
I did kill myself in that one.
Yeah,
one
I
time.
Yeah, and I had to defend myself
think you killed yourself
in a game I don't play.
I did kill myself in the second one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So, but anyways, if you are into video games or not, if you just want to see me get frustrated, enjoy that video.
Or if you want to watch all of us try to play Call of Duty against each other on
Yeah.
shipment with like a free-for-all.
We'll be doing that. Actually, we're going to announce next week's episode what we're going to do over the holidays because we're going to take 2 weeks off, I think, for Christmas and stuff like that from the podcast. But we'll still have content coming out. So stay tuned. Anyway, let's
Movies.
talk about Twitter real quick.
yeah.
Twitter has
Talk about
been
Twitter.
blowing up. Mitch has been doing an amazing job on that. I'm not a very social medium person, but I've been bouncing in and out.
Me neither.
Well, hey, whatever you're doing's working. We got HBO to look at us.
Yeah, HBO
and-
Max is, I guess, tweeted at us twice.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you call it.
And whatever your interest is, and it's definitely growing. So if you're of that Twitter vein, communicate to us. That's definitely becoming our flagship, I'd say, of social media right now.
It's just easier and quicker to put stuff out through that than to go through the Facebook process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier to find stuff that can translate straight to that too.
So
Now, when they tweeted at us, we're like, hey, we listened to your show. It was really good. Or was it like, hey, check out this exclusive offer from HBO Max?
Oh yeah, I mean they were tweeting our tag
They
out there for
handled
everyone
us.
to see.
we got handled.
Yeah.
We got handled. That's the way you said it sounds like dirty. What happened? We got handled.
But hey, it's like free advertisement. What do you know?
It is.
Free advertisements.
We'll take it. All right.
Makes it seem legit.
So I believe you had movies.
I
Mitch.
did.
What'd you
did.
watch?
You cannot kill David Arquette.
Didn't he die in one of the Scream movies?
Yes, he did.
I think they mean like real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this movie is basically it's like a documentary, but it's pretty comedic as well. And just to give some backstory, 20 years ago in the year 2000, David Arquette put out a movie called Ready to Rumble, which was a comedy vein of wrestling movie. He's a big wrestling fan. He was on the actual like WCW TV, program, and he won the world title.
Really?
That pissed a lot of people off.
It's
Because-
making me mad.
Well, because fans thought it was kind of disrespectful, and some of the wrestlers that had worked their entire lives never got to be world champion. Yet you get this scrawny little actor that comes in and he's the WCW champion for 2 weeks, and he was portrayed as a bad guy. So it kind of, for the story in the show, it made sense.
Okay.
But anyways, people hated him for that, and 20 years later, he because of the wrestling stuff, he can't get a job as far as like acting because nobody will take him serious.
Because of the wrestling.
Yeah, because nobody takes him serious as an actor anymore.
Because he did wrestling?
Yeah, he said for 10 years he's gone on
I've
interviews.
seen Hugh Jackman be in like wrestling rings.
Yeah, but
But
This-
he's Hugh Jackman. He's
but
a
this-
handsome man.
he said he's gone on interviews for like TV or for movies and TV for 10 years and hasn't gotten anything back.
Well, okay, to be fair, when you hit that certain like level where people know you, it's kind of like Mark Hamill. When he was Luke Skywalker, and after that was done, he couldn't get a job anywhere because, it's not only that he was typecasted, but they also thought that, wow, this guy is too celebrity for our role that we're trying to cast him for. It'll throw off what kind of audience comes to watch it, and they'll lose money that way. So it's kind of like David Arquette backed himself into a corner by being somewhat popular, not popular enough to get big roles, but too popular to get like any roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, for this movie, he wants to go back to wrestling because, like I said, he was a fan and he didn't mean to, make people mad and make people feel that he was disrespecting. So at 46 years old, he decides he's going to wrestle again
all right.
after having a heart attack before any of this even started.
Really? I didn't know he had a heart attack.
Yeah, so he goes to return to wrestling. He wants to do it legit. He wants to go and get trained. He shows up at all these like little small wrestling events, and he tried to get into one like legitimate, I guess, like indie kind of scene. And the wrestlers that were actually supposed to be there almost like beat him up, and they like got into a bar fight to like had to be separated and everything.
How much
You're that
is
David
sensationalized,
Arquette
though?
guy.
Is it real or is it
No,
like?
no, this was real because like this was before any of the stuff. They got into a bar fight because they didn't want him to show up at their show,
Okay.
and he didn't. And then until like a year later, they invited him back after seeing his progress later on. But like at one point, like he's in this indie show. He's been training a little bit. Well, he's fighting a guy with they have like these LED, what you call it? Or not the LED, what are the tube lights? What are they called?
Yeah, fluorescent.
The fluorescent lights. Well, in some of these smaller shows, they use these because they're very dramatic. You know, when you hit them, they burst everywhere.
Yeah.
But
You know how dangerous those things are.
but you can only get small cuts for the most part when you get hit by them.
Well, not only that, but it explodes. It doesn't shatter. It explodes, and it has very fine glass particulates that can flow and
into your eyes.
lacerate your lungs and stuff like that. So
Well, during this match, he's fighting with this guy. This guy does not like him because of everything that happened, but he doesn't know that he doesn't, to the extent that he doesn't like him. But they're sitting there, he hits him. Well, he gets, at one point, like David Arquette goes in to like grab him, and the guy literally stabbed him in the neck with what was left of the of the little tube, and he. Like Arquette immediately puts his hand over his neck and he like punches the guy 3 or 4 times, gets out of the ring and starts to walk off. And then he stops, holding his hand on his neck, turns around, goes back in the ring, like fights a couple of seconds with the guy, lets the guy pin him, and then leaves. And on his way to the hospital, you have Luke Perry, before he passed away, was his friend and was driving him. Well, they get to the hospital, he takes his hand off.
Luke Perry died?
Yeah. He has like a cut on his carotid artery to where when he took his hand off, you just saw blood just spurt out. Like he could have died right there.
That dude could have committed murder.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets that taken care of, and he returns back, and he describes it like trying to get in shape for the wrestling. It actually helped him turn his life around because he was kind of abusing some drugs, like
Really? No.
and drinking a lot, and it helped him with his.
He's married to Courtney Cox. You can't blame him too much.
Well, no, he's married to some other girl now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got some old habits from that mess. So
But it's a really good. If you like wrestling, it's really good. If you just like redemption stories, it's pretty good.
If you don't like David Arquette, you can watch him get stabbed in the neck.
I think it'll be funny if wrestling kind of showcases this, this new art form of like, let's make documentaries and movies about how wrestling is made instead of actual wrestling. You know what I mean? And like those do better because it's like real drama, real struggle, real whatever, instead of this like hokey fake crap they put in the ring, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm more interested in that than actual wrestling, and I wonder if that's the truth for a lot of people. So,
well, this little documentary here, IMDb rates it at a 7.2 out of 10, and I mean, I would agree. It's it's not some groundbreaking thing, but it's really interesting just to see how this guy, his career spiraled out of control, just down, and then through wrestling, he elevates himself back up to at least respectable standards from the wrestling community out there, and to some
So
TV.
after he got
strange.
stabbed in the jugular,
I don't know.
was the wrestling community a little bit more
Well, the wrestling
sympathetic to him now?
Well, the wrestlers were actually, they said they were very impressed the fact that he like went back in the ring after being stabbed just to finish the match. Because a lot of times, like wrestlers, if they break an arm or whatever, they'll finish the match just to get to continue the story and then deal with it after.
Yeah.
They'll
Go to the hospital later.
whatever it is, they'll cut the match short, but let him pin him, and then they'll go on.
It's still crazy, like you talk about this wrestling community, and I get it. They are like a very wealthy powerhouse of entertainment, but it's like talking about like upsetting them and not leaving on good terms, like it's some foreign country or something.
Well, no,
like
I
that.
mean it's almost like like teams and like
I
for the
get
military,
it. And they're
perform-
very powerful because they have a lot of A-list celebrities that are out there now that came from the celebrity the wrestling world. So it's cool. I get it. It's just very strange. Like when I was a kid growing up, I never thought two craps about the wrestling people, or I thought Hulk Hogan was this kind of like half actor that might do something one day and never did.
Well, I mean, it's like any kind of sports and anything. They have their own little tight knit group that
It's just
they're a team. I mean,
whatever people make it into something from whatever they came from. So,
but it was a really good show. If you like anything along those lines, I would recommend watching it just because it was fun to watch.
yeah.
But anyways, like I said, I give that a 7.2. I agree with IMDb that it was pretty good. I'll move on to my news though. Predator.
Ooh.
Technically, it says Predator 5, but they're saying it's possibly going to be a whole reboot, and this first reboot might be set 100 years in the past.
let's not get
What, they're
bogged
going to
down.
shoot at him with like flintlock pistols now?
Well, no, I mean, if
Predator versus
if you
George
know-
Washington.
if you know the Predator lore, they show up on Earth every 100 years because some of the Predators can live up to 800 years old.
But they showed up in the 80s with Predator.
In 1987.
So 100 years ago would
Well, like
be,
I said, this is probably going to be a reboot.
right.
So it's going
so
to be
it'd
1887.
1880. So
Yeah.
100. What 40? God, is Predator that old now?
So what, Predator versus like Wyatt Earp?
I mean, they fight fair. They're not going to go after him with like laser pistols and stuff like that. So he would probably fight after him with
Predator didn't fight fair. He had laser pistols. He was invisible.
Well, he fight relatively fair.
You know what's crazy? I watched Animaniacs, like the new episode, and they talked about it not being your daddy's Animaniacs. And I was really confused by that, right? And then they talked about it being 22 years old, and I was super confused. And then I realized I'm 33. So, man, I can't believe that show's that old. And I can't believe Predator's that old. I can't believe I'm that old.
Welcome to the midlife crisis episode. We're getting there.
I'm just losing video games left and right now. So, yeah, I guess it's going out. But, hey, my money's getting better. So,
Anyways, back on my movie news.
Back to Predator.
existential crisis on.
But yeah, it's
Middle
supposedly going to be 100 years in the past, possibly. Also, Black Panther 2 is going to start filming in July. I'm interested to see how because they said they're still going to have Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther, and somehow in the movie they'll transition him over. So I don't know if they're going to do mainly CGI or if they're going to use old footage and
I hope
crop it
not.
in somehow.
I hope they don't do CGI.
I am of the people who think that if you CGI a dead person, it's disrespectful.
Well, I mean, if you get permission from the family.
Even
it's-
still, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the best thing you could do is you could have somebody in the suit.
That's what I was saying. Maybe they could just do him in the suit and,
The whole
voiceover.
movie.
Well, no.
If you have like a face though, you know, like Carrie Fisher, and that's gonna be like 30 years from now. People are gonna look at that and they're gonna be like, "Ooh, that's bad," you know. You know, so it's disrespectful in my opinion. You know, you're just trying to make a story work at the
Expensive.
of a dead guy. So, but like the idea of them pushing Black Panther over to what's her name?
The Shuri.
I
Yeah.
thought that was an interesting idea.
Which that happens in the comics for a short while because I forget something happens to T'Challa and he has to disappear for something. But she's Black Panther for a while anyways.
yeah,
So
that'd be fun. I'd be into that.
Yeah, I could watch that.
my last bit of news is Deadpool 3 is going to be made. It's not confirmed, but they're working on making the script and everything. Ryan Reynolds and then I forgot the names, but they're the writers from the show Bob's Burgers.
Oh, really?
It's them and Ryan Reynolds that are going to write the script.
Is H. John Benjamin
Yeah.
going to be it? Just doing that voice.
But it's still going to be rated R, even though
Good.
technically Disney's backing it. But
I want Hugh Jackman to be in it. Or under a new name like Jack.
So
Human.
was the Deadpool 1 writers and the Deadpool 2 writers the same people?
yes,
Yeah. They're the people that did the Lego movie, right?
but Deadpool 1 and 2 were heavily influenced by Ryan Reynolds because he's the one that pushed it to get made.
I'm sure. And,
Yeah.
you know,
And I mean, he is Deadpool. His comedy is what makes Deadpool
Yeah.
Deadpool. So.
And he kept the suit. Like I think he said he like walked off set wearing it, and they're just like, you could take it off, and he's like, make me. He's like, try.
I'm sure Ryan Reynolds has like enough control over, what the image of Deadpool is that he's not going to let it go crazy. But you're still playing with fire.
Yeah.
So, and Bob's Burgers is like very deadpan, dry humor.
Yeah.
So to see that try to fit into a Deadpool kind of,
Which is kind of not over the top, but it's like almost at that line.
yeah, it's over the top. He's
There's a
like
lot of fourth
he's
wall
dancing, fourth wall breaking while shooting people in the face. These guys little baby hands and stuff like that. Like
Everyone
it's
fears the T-Rex.
just, it's just a wild,
Did you hear about the one-legged man in an ass kicking contest?
it's a wild movie. I don't know how that's gonna, but who knows? Maybe it's the best thing ever. Whatever. So.
But that's all the news I have for movies.
I could be interested in that. I would watch it.
Yeah, I got a friend who loves Bob's Burger, Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon.
Brandon. He loves that show, so he'll probably, and he liked Deadpool, so he'll probably get all over this. Cool. Well, what's next? What,
TV shows.
oh yeah,
I watched the Frankenstein Chronicles.
yeah, I seen that a long time ago.
That's with Sean Bean, isn't it?
Yeah, it's with Sean Bean. He plays
Sean
like
Bean.
a Thames River investigator.
I don't know if I've seen all of it, but I have seen some of it.
I've seen the first couple episodes, which I mean, it's a long show. It's on Netflix. It's came out in 2015. I think the second season came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Bean's dead the entire episode. Show, right?
No,
He's not?
no, he's alive. He's the main star.
Who's Frankenstein? Who's the monster?
They haven't introduced the monster or talk about it yet.
They're looking for Frankenstein.
Like, he's an investigator, and like the premise of the story is, you know, his family has died or his wife has died. He has syphilis, and he's taking like mercury pills, which pretty much make you insane.
Yeah.
Because you start hallucinating, and it's poisoning you.
Mm-hmm.
You watched it all the way through?
I rewatched the first couple episodes to refresh myself.
Okay, so you haven't seen it all the way through. Never mind. Nothing happens.
But like they find
got Sean Bean in it, so you
yeah, like they find a kid who it's actually the bodies of 8 children, like sewn together.
Yeah,
and he gets brought in like to investigate it, and you know this like weird rabbit hole of nonsense and like into like this weird underground world.
If I remember, they talk a lot about science and how it could possibly work as far as reanimating the dead, and they use old. What is this like the? It's like the 1800s.
It's the 1800s, yeah.
So like they use galvanization. I don't know what the word it is, but it's electricity. You just use electricity to reanimate.
And they're showing like corpses in like some parts where he like goes to like see like some medical guy, and the guy's like running electricity through the arm, and like you see the hands start to close and open, and
I did a little bit of research in that show when it came out, and that was an actual science that they were practicing back then. So I thought it was kind of interesting that they incorporated some sort of reality into it. But obviously it didn't work.
I think at the end of the show, if I recall correctly, I know you saw the whole thing. He actually goes and interrogates like Mary Shelley.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, because it's there was a book, but then he finds out that it's based partly in reality. It's like what she wrote.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is kind of distasteful. I think you're kind of discrediting Mary Shelley. Like you're not creative enough to come up with this by yourself.
Not at that time. Well, no, when she wrote the book, it was published under a different name.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Originally,
she wrote it
in a night.
Yeah, because she was in a party.
And they were like, "Oh, everybody write like the scariest story tonight, and then tomorrow we'll read it." And it was like she was like, "It was like a thunderstorm." It was very like almost story-esque how it happened.
Yeah.
But like she had like a nightmare about this dead guy who was brought back to life with other with other body parts and electricity. Wrote out the whole story and read it to everybody, and they were all like, "Right, you need to make that into a book."
Yeah.
And then she did.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, it's a good show.
It is good.
I think they ended it early. Like it's canceled.
Yeah, they only did 2 seasons. I haven't seen season 2, so I don't know how the story pans out.
I've only seen the first season.
For Sean Bean. I imagine he dies, or he's already dead. It's Sean Bean. The only character he can ever be and not die is Sharp. Every movie he's died in is payback for not dying in Sharp. It's like the bill comes due. He has like to do like a movie a month to stay alive as Sharp, but he has to die as everybody else. He can only take roles where he gets like shot in the face, ripped apart by 4 horses,
shot with arrows,
thrown off a building,
impaled by a satellite dish.
What?
Yeah, Goldeneye.
Goldeneye.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was.
Die off screen.
Die off screen.
Die off screen. Captured and beaten to death by Germans.
Yeah, well. Anyways,
he dies a lot. It's a good show.
What'd you rate it?
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a little.
If you're into like the gothic horror kind of deal, and like that pseudo historical, like that 1800s, like industrial revolution,
Penny Dreadful crap. But
it's interesting to watch.
Yeah. My thing is that Penny Dreadful and this show, and I'm trying to think of another one, but I can't. They always start with a novel concept, and it usually just descends into gore and the Victorian plot, the Victorian setting, and then whatever that concept was in the beginning is just kind of out the door, and you're just like Hannibal, for instance. Hannibal started out with this cool idea of a show about an investigator working with a serial killer without catching each other, and then it just kind of went into this like gore mayhem. And I think this show and other shows like it are a victim of that. Like that identity crisis where they try and figure out what they're really about, and that origin novel concept goes out the door. So yeah.
So here's the news. There's a TV show coming out called Resident Alien on Sci-Fi, new dramedy series starring Alan Tudyk or Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball.
Yeah,
that's like the only thing. Or he was in Firefly or something, right?
Yeah, he was Wash in Firefly. He was Tucker or
Dale or Tucker.
He
or
was
something.
one of them.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys. The not fat one.
No,
There you go.
he's also the robot in Rogue One.
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Learning stuff.
He's also the robot from iRobot.
I didn't know that.
No, you're messing with me on
No,
that.
I'm
one.
dead serious.
So he just plays robots.
He does. He's actually known for his motion capture capabilities. He did a lot of it around the same era that Andy Serkis did, but you know.
Andy Serkis did Gollum and like won Oscars.
Yeah.
Just saying. So Resident Alien, it's a Dark Horse comic series. It's been in development for like over 2 years, but it's finally set to debut January 27th of obviously 2021. The premise of the cast is like he's an alien with a mission to kill all human life, and he crash lands on Earth, and then apparently he passes himself off as a small town doctor.
Okay.
Like that's his little disguise.
Just a small town.
Doctor. It's like when he said just, I was like, I know what he's doing. But things start getting right because he gets roped into solving a local murder and realizing he needs to assimilate to his new world. As he does so, he begins to wrestle with the moral dilemma of his mission.
Wrestling.
And ask wrestling. It's all coming full circle. Moral dilemma of the mission of killing literally everybody. And big life questions like, are humans worth saving? And why do they fold their pizza before eating it? That's what it says here in the article.
Only weird people fold pizza. You gotta do the pizza sandwich. That's how you eat. Take 2 pieces.
No,
That's how you
You
eat
just
pizza.
eat a piece
no,
of
you
pizza.
take the pizza, you pinch in the crust, and do the fold.
No.
Yes.
That's
You keep everything inside.
everybody who does that's a tool sack. All right. This is the efficient way to do it. All right. Take 2 pieces. Put one on top of the other one. That way you have crust on the outside, no grease. It's all stuck on the inside.
You're just making a dumb calzone.
yeah.
Just
exactly.
buy a calzone. It's a bigger Hot Pocket.
No, because like I'm busy. I want a piece of pizza. Everybody's gonna order pizza like always anyway. So instead of just carrying around this like greasy, slutty dinner plate on my copious weird hand and stuff like that, I'm just gonna put 2 sandwiches together like that.
And for all you normal people that just eat a piece of pizza,
Mitch uses a
do-
fork and a knife.
Yeah, Mitch cuts it into bite-sized pieces.
He dabs the grease off.
that's my serial killer instincts. Just gotta be clean.
Gotta be. That's
Sanitation.
This is like and you said we got off track last episode,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Animaniacs, for talking about pizza. If you,
I thought that people probably had seen Animaniacs, so it was worth talking about. Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that show.
yeah, it's
What about that hot sauce?
You know what a lot of stuff going on that show.
a lot of things, a lot of stuff.
They got a murder doctor alien guy.
Murder Doctor Alien Guy, which
Yep.
I don't have high hopes for this show
It's sci-fi.
because it's on the Sci-Fi Channel.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember their shows being
When you let in with that, I was like,
bad.
Honestly, a lot of shows start on sci-fi and then they grow beyond their budget and get bought out.
Like Krypton. They need to be bought.
I think HBO is looking at that, isn't it?
I hope so.
HBO looked at Krypton. The Expanse got bought out by Amazon, and Battlestar Galactica got bought out by
Somebody.
NBC or something.
I think so. I think
NBC, whichever one has the Peacock.
Oh yeah,
Is it NBC?
Is it? I
Is
don't
it
know.
NBC
Peacock.
or is
Yeah.
that ABC? No.
Well, that's what's
It's
called the
NBC.
Peacock app.
I know it's
Yeah.
it's a great app. Honestly, it's really good because it's got commercials, but they're less than 60 seconds and it's free. So you just pay by watching commercials, which is not. It's unbearable. Like YouTube has longer commercials.
Yeah.
But the name.
the name. The name.
There's a lot of good shows on there though. But.
Yeah, I like the premise of the show. I like Alan Tudyk. I think it sounds like it's going to be a funny show because he does comedy really well.
Yeah, he does.
And I think the premise of he's an alien sent here to kill everybody, and then he's pretending to be a small town doctor.
Just wonder how much of his alien-esque things are going to be really crappy CGI.
Oh, I imagine all of it. I imagine all of it because they haven't released like a picture or anything about how he looks or whatever on the show. But I'm imagining it's not going to look good. It is the Sci-Fi Channel, and if this took 2 years to make, and now it's finally setting to debut in January, it's like,
Wow.
is it ready? Are you sure?
Is it really?
Are you sure you want to do this?
We'll see.
But I don't know what Alan Tudyk's been up to recently. So since Dale and Tucker versus Evil,
He
does a lot of voice.
He does a lot of
stuff,
voice.
I
He
think,
did.
in
He was a Joker in that Harley Quinn show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So he does. He's very good, talented voice actor. He can kind of hit all sorts of.
And he plays robots apparently.
He does.
It'd be funny if he was a robot from space sent to kill everybody and then becomes a doctor. So it sounds like an interesting premise for a show that I think we should check out.
Yeah, we will. All right, cool. Video games. So I got the new Xbox finally, and
he finally got to play it.
I finally got to play it. I got to like smell it before I ran off to military leave. I played one game of Call of Duty. It was life changing, and then I got to leave it. But I came back, and I'm still terrible at Call of Duty, but
it looks really good.
It looks really pretty well.
I don't always die, but when I do, it's at 120 frames a second.
It is.
It's very pretty.
It looks really good.
I don't have to. Like lag and stuff isn't an issue for me anymore. And the cool thing is how fast the console is. Like, I can boot it up. I'll be in the lobby in Call of Duty in less than 30 seconds.
But he still has to wait on me and Tom.
That's true. But like
it's like that little kid that like runs to the door. It's like, come on, guys, and like the parents are just like trudging along.
But like I got Assassin's Creed, the Valhalla, the Viking one. I got that, and I was playing it on the old Xbox while I was out of town. And then like it would take like 5 minutes to load up where you could actually be in the game. So they have all these hints and information stuff in the loading screen that you can tab through, and you learn a lot of interesting things like, oh, I didn't know I could upgrade my satchel or whatever. For the new Xbox, it's so fast. Like they'll put a hint up there, and I'll be like, your horse gets this power if you push, and like the screen cuts away. I'm like, nah, what was it?
What do I do with the horse?
My only complaint is like I can't read the little tips menu because it's so fast.
It's too quick.
But other than that, it's an amazing console. It's got a lot of room to grow with. It's like I feel like games for the Xbox One came out and they were already at peak performance for the Xbox One. I feel like games have a long way to go before they can really challenge the Series X, because like it's not that much of a difference. And I know that the capabilities and stuff like that I've seen from games coming out like Cyberpunk are gonna just like this ray tracing thing. It changes the gameplay.
It changes the world.
It's amazing. Like you can see. I was playing Assassin's Creed, and on the Series X, I think there's ray tracing, but I could see the individual grass blades floating in the wind and stuff like that, and then the shadows they would cast from the sun being independent too, like little grass shadows. Like that's something amazing, and like all those little details really make for a cool setting, like how fire displaces light, how sun looks coming through like a stained glass window or a mirror or something like that. All those little nuances really kind of solidify a gameplay experience, which I'm excited to see be challenged in future games. I feel like kind of right now there's not much. So if you're like one of these guys and you want to wait to get a console, you're probably doing right, because there's not much out here that's really going to challenge you.
Or challenge the power of the consoles.
So, yeah.
Any issues with it yet?
No.
Because I've been reading
it's never overheat. I walk over and put my hand on it, and it's cooler than the Xbox One every time. The drive has never had a problem with me. It's got no issues with internet. It's not loud. I don't hear it. And
it doesn't turn off randomly, completely, dashboard, or just shut down.
I've got no
that's apparently an issue that's been going around.
Never.
People's Xbox just flat out turning off, and then.
And I've played it pretty good yesterday. Like played it substantially. I played it with you guys, and I played Assassin's Creed a good bit earlier on it. So I'd say I've got maybe 20 hours of gameplay on it. So over the past couple days. So I'd say it's doing good so far. So yeah, I'm reviewing. That's my review on the Xbox console, Xbox Series X. It's great. Maybe buy it. I don't know.
If you can find one.
Yeah, if you can find one. I don't know anything about the Series S. I don't know if anybody has it or not.
So. I mean, I know this isn't going to help anybody when this podcast comes out, but tomorrow at 9 p.m., they're going to have new stuff for it, I think on Amazon and GameStop, where you can order it.
And Black Friday will be insane, which is...
Dude, it's just going to... All the sites are going to crash.
Is it this Friday?
Well, Wednesday at 9 p.m. is when they start having Black Friday deals and you can buy them.
Oh, so you guys will have already lived through the carnage by the time you listen.
That's when I'm going to try to get one.
So maybe Mitch will make a Twitter announcement or something. So
I'll try to remember if I'm not trying to bite myself.
But the game that I am reviewing is Assassin's Creed. This is the 12th Assassin's Creed game, main series game, and it's pretty good. It's huge. Like I think I played for about 15 hours before you got to the opening title card of Assassin's Creed. Yeah, it's large.
Odyssey was kind of that way too.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of stuff you can do. You can fish, you can hunt, you can siege castles, you can kill bounties, you can romance, you can do all sorts of side plots, and there's mini games like a dice game. There's flighting, which is kind of like a epic rap battle. It's apparently a thing. All sorts of stuff you can do. The customization by far is probably like the high point they're trying to push in the game. You get a slew of tattoos you can make your Viking character look cool with, different armor sets, different hairstyles. You can customize your horse, your raiding battleship, your settlement and stuff like that you live in. You can customize everything, which is cool. Kind of.
Is this like Red Dead Redemption 2, the Assassin's Creed edition?
Red Dead Redemption's better. The AI in this game is just stupid sometimes, and then like the writing and the voice acting is pretty hard to get behind. Like some of the stuff that people say, you're just like, why would you say that? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's one thing I heard. Like, I was seeing that a lot of the critics praised the game, but I've seen that like a lot of people reviewing it on YouTube were kind of like, it's all right.
It's fun, okay? Like, if you want to go around and murder people, this is a game to do it, okay? Like other Viking games or other assassin games, they punish you for murdering civilians. This one's like, pillage everything, set it all on fire.
You're a Viking. Go kill everybody.
So, and you get rewards for doing that. Now, granted, that you don't go around stabbing women or something like that, but I wouldn't do that anyways. But
wink, wink.
That didn't happen.
But I know I'm more interested in like where the story's going. The whole outside of the Animus story with the future plot line, because remember, like the original Assassin's Creed, you had Desmond and that character.
Yeah,
they're doing it again with this new girl. I don't remember her name. I only came out of the Assassin's Creed world once,
and I think that's better, where it's not continuously bringing you in and out.
Yeah, I've probably got about 60 hours in the game right now.
Because that was a hard part of like the first one.
Yeah,
where it's like you're out of the Animus and like you have to like
wander around a room,
look at something, go to bed. And then like, oh, all right. And then like, all right. Then you got to like walk and wait for them. And then they'll let you back in. And then you can go run around as Altair and kill everybody.
They do a good job pacing it too. Because like in the beginning, so you play this character named Ivor Wolfkist. And you can choose to be a boy or a girl. They explain it away with some plot thing. I don't know. Go for it. But they have the ability where you can let the game decide when you're going to be a boy or a girl. I just chose to be a boy. I kind of would have liked to see the alternate plot lines that would happen if you're a girl, but it's whatever. I made my decision. So your family gets killed, Viking revenge plot line ensues, you grow up, and you're helping some clan establish a settlement in England. So that takes about 20 hours. And then when you leave, that's the first time you come out of the Animus when you're leaving, and you go on your 8-week boat trip to England. And then you land in Mercia when you come back, and then you're introduced to the Templars and like their hierarchy and who you have to go around and assassinate. Doesn't even feel like the main plot. If it is, it's definitely the main plot for Assassin's Creed games, but it's definitely not the main plot for this game. This game is about you getting revenge, and you're barely an assassin. Like these dudes come to you and try to recruit you, and you're just like, no, I don't want to. I want to kill people the way that I want to. And they try to like wow you with like the little stabby thingy, and teach you like your cool skills, your ninja skills, and you still just
You're like Mjolnir.
yeah.
Bow!
I still run around and just murder people. I try to be stealthy sometimes, but I just get so impatient.
Sometimes it's hard.
I can't. I hate like not doing anything in a video game, like waiting in a stack of hay, just watching guards walk around. No, I'm just gonna burst out and start murdering.
Waiting for that one sequence where they're all in the right place at the right time, so you can run past everybody and not get caught.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Or I can murk the shit out of all of them.
There's like stupid ways you can kill people. The combat mechanics are pretty cool. Like I just discovered you can dual wield heavy weapons. So I dual wielding spears right now. And I'm just shish kebabbing people, running around, stabbing, and all sorts of stuff. And that's pretty fun.
The stealth is what I like about it. Like, because like I'll try to purposely, like I don't care how long it takes. I try to kill everybody and make sure nobody ever saw me.
And I get that you're benefited by that.
But if you kill all of them, no one saw it.
Like the bow and arrow mechanics in this game are insane. Like you can upgrade your bow capabilities to shoot like 4 people at once. And like I've gotten so good at it, I just murder a guy in plain sight and let the crowds come at me, and I'm just picking them off. Letting the corpses just pile up, and hopefully they stop. If sometimes they don't, I think like they respawn if you're still under alert. Then I just go and loot their bodies and cash out. But yeah.
Like in the Odyssey game, like sometimes the different areas they would have like a bear or a mountain lion trap that they'd captured or whatever. I would just like use the bow and arrow, shoot the lock off, and let the bear and the mountain lion attack the people.
Odyssey's the Spartan one, right?
Yeah.
So did they kind of hint at this Roman Empire thing?
I haven't finished the game because there's a lot to do, but
it sounds
I can see where it builds towards that.
Yeah, this Viking stuff, like another subplot is like the Roman Empire that took place in England before you get there, and you do a lot of like archaeological stuff. Granted, it's only like this is in the 800s, so this would be like 400 years old when the Romans were there. But they're pushing that pretty hard, and I think that these new generation of Assassin's Creed games are going to come to a head with the Roman Empire. That's probably going to be the next one. I'm calling it.
Where you topple the Empire.
Spartacus.
Yeah, we'll see.
He breaks out.
Spartacus. Crushers. It's fun. It's got a lot of everything. So much stuff that you probably don't really need to care about a third of it. If you just want to kind of, I like to get all the little achievements, find all the gold, do the little side quests and stuff like that. It gets a little obnoxious at times, So I feel like they kind of need to figure out how to streamline their gameplay, their plot. Like Cyberpunk, for instance. I'll talk about this in a minute because that's my news.
Of course it is.
They're like their biggest complaint in Cyberpunk is that there's so many quests and they're all so interesting you can't figure out which way to go with them all. So like this one is just like, sure, I'll help this little girl find her dog. Whatever. That's Assassin's Creed. They got some pretty dumb plots. So I give it a 7.5. It's definitely an enjoyable, it's satisfying game, carnage killing experience. It's gonna get old here pretty quick. The bosses, I'd say, like you have this hierarchy of assassinations you have to make. Those are what's keeping me going right now. So
best Assassin's Creed game is still Brotherhood.
No, Black Flag by far.
No, Brotherhood.
No, okay, well, fine.
Well, you're wrong.
So,
what's your news?
Cyberpunk.
Wow, is it delayed again?
It's not. It's still coming out. They've actually had leaked games go out. People have been playing the leaked game. And from what I hear, it's really good. They say it's a slow burn beginning because you're just kind of getting used to the city. That the city is the character of the game. You are definitely like what you become is the character that pertains to the most importance of the game. But they definitely want you to feel like every time you walk out into the city, you experience something new. And that's what they're pushing hard in the beginning, from what I understand. You just drive around and see all sorts of crazy sights and learn stuff. Some people don't like that. I kind of like it. I will get into that by just vibing and just seeing stuff, talking to people, whatever. Of course, it all depends on whatever your background is, because you can pick 3 different backgrounds in the game where you come from. Like I said, they talked about there being so many quests, so many opportunities. They're all rated from like moderate to very hard, and the the complaint about that is, let's say you take on a very hard quest, the reward for that could be nothing compared to a moderate quest. So people are upset that the more challenging quests could reap less rewards. But, I don't know. I'd say you play the game for the experience, and rewards are cool and whatnot, but we'll see what happens. Sometimes you make a bad investment. I don't know. So, but everybody says that the game is amazing. And Google Stadia is trying very hard to sell their consoles. So if you get Cyberpunk for Stadia, they'll send you a console.
Jeez.
For 3 months. They'll send you a console, free Stadia, and all this other thing. All the console is a little dot with a controller.
Oh.
I don't know anybody that has a Stadia.
Nope. No.
I don't know if we've ever talked about it on here. It's the developers. I'm sorry, the reviewers that played through a streaming service, much like Stadia. So they didn't have a hard copy, so they couldn't make leaks. But somehow these leaks got made. And I would assume it's kind of like Stadia. I don't know if they actually played it on or not, but the idea of a game not being anywhere in my house but coming from outer space or wherever it comes from just bothers me. Like, if anything could happen to that very complicated process to play a game, and it could just
everything you bought is just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just left with that thing.
Well, it's a controller and a dot that you plug into your TV, and do you know how much power it takes to stream 4K, let alone a 4K video game, like where you have to have inputs and stuff like that? It's no way it can be good, But I mean, Stadia is free right now, essentially. I'm sure if we sent them a review request, like we'll
like T&E it.
Yeah, we'll check it out. They'd probably send us one for free if you want to look into that, Mitch.
Okay.
Write that down.
All right. Well, yeah, that's my video game news and reviews. So
just I got a notification, but to interject on your news, the Nuketown 84 is live for Cold War. They've made the new map, so they've included that.
I told you Nuketown was going to happen.
Yep, I got a notification on my phone that says Nuketown 84 is now live.
Are you guys gonna run home and play that?
Probably
not.
I'll give it a whirl.
I still don't have Cold. I don't think I'm going to buy Cold War.
There's no reason to buy Cold War.
So
Except for zombies.
Zombies is fun. Zombies is madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Right.
Why'd your mic die?
I don't know.
Resuscitate it. Quick, get the AED.
So, yeah. All right, moving on. So let's do our list here. We're running to our last minute.
Which our list is the top 10 like co-op /
like multiplayer
games, or series of games.
Pretty much.
That people voted on.
Yeah, the games, like the way I put it when we were making the list was like, these are the games like you and your friends played all the time. Like this was like your greatest memories, like you guys co-op and either on live or going through multiplayer or co-op stories.
Yeah, Halo's number one. That's it.
It's not
according to this now. But anyways, we'll start at the bottom of the list, which actually none of this stuff got a vote, which kind of surprised me. Like PlayerUnknown's Battleground, Smash Brothers, Minecraft, Destiny, Grand Theft Auto. None of those got any votes.
Grand Theft Auto, I don't think was ever a big until recently.
I mean, now you can play it online with people, but I'm still surprised that that's not more of a thing because you can have some hilarity stuff.
Just to understand, okay, like Tom was saying, it's the experience that we're trying to push here, right? Like it's not the capabilities of multiplayer, but like I have the best memory of playing this game with my friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Grand Theft Auto is probably not going to be that thing. Destiny. I mean, honestly, games that are online, they don't have the nostalgia of landline games or LAN parties. Yeah. So it's hard to beat.
I played games growing up, but I never played anything
like GoldenEye.
I never played any of that. When I actually got into gaming was like
GoldenEye.
around 2008 when my parents bought a 360 and I come home from college one weekend and all my friends were like, "Hey, you should try and play Modern Warfare." I was like, "Okay." That's it. That's the game
Sold.
since then.
I mean, PUBG, I have a lot of fun memories of playing PUBG.
Yeah.
A lot of yelling at the television, a lot of...
It was so bad, though. It was such a trash game.
It was such a trash game, but it was a lot of fun playing with your friends.
Now, like Smash Brothers, I've had a lot of fun playing lately, too.
Very, very recently.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Very recently.
I used to be amazing at that game. I'm still pretty good, but obviously I'm not as good as both of you combined.
Yeah. Destiny was...
our powers combined.
You guys do your, like, saying thing. What's that called?
Fusion.
Yeah, fusion. Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on to number 9, which Animal Crossing.
Sure is the video game. Let's just move on.
But, I'm sure people like playing that. It's
My wife
I haven't played it yet. So.
loved this in college, and we got it, the new one for Switch. The kids liked it. It's basically chores, the video game. But there's so much to do. Like it's demanding that you come back and like do stuff. Like be back on this date at this time. I'm like, man, I got a full-time job. I don't know if I can. And I kind of bowed out of the game. And then over time, my wife and kids did too.
It's such a commitment.
It is a commitment. It's like
I don't want a game that's that big of a commitment.
Like I guarantee you, if you did some sort of demographic target audience, it'd be like single people that work like a part-time job or something like that really love this game. So, but yeah.
But all right, next we'll move on to number 8, which is Monster Hunter.
I tried to get in this game. I
never played it.
To me, the game is fun if you have people to play with, but the game, I mean, like I said, the game's not a big one-player kind of thing.
Yeah. I played the world one, right?
Yeah.
And like the thing that frustrates me is that you got to upgrade your characters and get all this cool stuff to go fight monsters, but you still have to. It's like a boss fight every monster you fight, and it doesn't matter how powerful you are. It takes like 1,000,000 hits to kill something.
Yeah.
So let alone you need a team of people to do it too. So yeah, it is just too much.
Yeah. Number 7, Borderlands. Have any of y'all played that?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Borderlands is fun. I played the first 2.
It's fun. It's goofy, but to me, it just kind of got monotonous. Kind of like Destiny after a while.
Does, yeah. Yeah, it's like offline Destiny.
Now, number 6 is Mario Kart. I have a lot of fond memories of Mario Kart.
I have a lot of fun. I would wake up, like, my parents really liked this game, too. Me and my brother would play, my parents would play. My parents would go to battle mode on Block Fort. And my dad was like a sniper with the green tortoise shells. Like, he'd be going, like, along on the bottom, and he'd be on the top, and he'd, like, look at the map, do the little hop, fire, hop again, fire, hop, fire again, and time it. Where like you'd be going down, get hit, lose a balloon. As soon as you could respawn and then like go again, the next one would hit you, and he would just three shot you. But I would wake
no
up,
mercy for the kids.
Yeah, I would wake up and it'd be like 1 a.m, and the Nintendo was in my room, and I wake up and they're like sitting on my floor playing it, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "Go back to the like, go back to bed." And she's like,
I was never great at Mario Kart, so.
I was good at racing, not at battle mode.
But I get that everyone wants to play it.
Well, I haven't played the newer versions, but the Super Nintendo version I played a lot.
Oh yeah,
the one I have Mario Kart 8. I think that's the newest one.
Yeah, that's the one
on Switch. That is, they upped the ante. That was rough.
It's it's got too many like capabilities. Like you can have basically like bumper rails.
Yeah, where you can't just drive off the map.
Yeah, and then like guided controls, and so I mean it's great for my kids, but like I don't really know.
There's a lot of stuff you got to turn off if you've played before.
And so like, but why?
And there's like an obnoxious amount of characters.
Yes, but they have Link, so I can't complain. So,
all right, moving on to number 5, The Division.
Did not play it.
It's a fun game to play with people, but similar to Destiny and stuff, it gets monotonous because you have to grind to get the stuff, and
it's a loot grind game, a loot and shoot game.
And like I said, it's fun if you have enough people to play, but because you can go on all these different missions through the entire city. I mean,
This was Tom Clancy's last, I think, creative work before he died.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So.
Was it?
Yeah, he had some sort of input into
I
it.
thought Rainbow Six was. Siege.
No, the Division came out after Rainbow Six Siege. The second one did.
Yeah.
But
Tom Clancy's been dead for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if he actually had story. Is there a story for Rainbow Six Siege?
No, Rainbow Six Siege is just an online multiplayer.
Okay, well, this one, like, I think he helped make the story. So.
Yeah, there's a virus that kills a lot of people,
Again?
and then the government tries to take over, and
that's the premise of like Rainbow Six. There's a virus. There's like eco-terrorists trying to blow up the world. There's a lot of virusing, a lot of eco-terrorism.
But
a lot of East Germans trying to blow stuff up.
We'll go from The Division at number 5 to another Tom Clancy, which is Rainbow Six for number 4. I had a lot of fun playing this.
I do have a lot of fun playing it.
Even just playing the terrorist hunt, like, you take a team of up to 4 people, and you're just going through a building or a campus that has 60 terrorists, and you don't know where they're at.
You got to find them.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to find you.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good one for all 3 of us to play and try to stream.
Sure.
Well, I mean, you do like the terrorist hunt. Like, you can just get a shield and a pistol, and you just walk through. I mean, you have to be tactical in the Rainbow Six games because you don't get a whole lot of help. Like,
one thing I'll say about
Call of Duty, where you just
no
jump around and start shooting like a maniac.
It's like
John Wicken.
the hardcore version. like the hardcore version of Call of Duty, but it's a slower pace because you actually have to clear corners and stuff, and you can shoot through certain walls, like the sheetrock walls and things like that.
I've seen dudes get like headshots, like somebody like run into a wall, melee the wall, put a hole in it, and the dude will be in the other room with an ACOG sight, look through it, just see like a bit of movement, go, and shoot somebody through it, suppress, and you just hear, and then like round one, and then they'll show the kill cam where you marked them right through the ear.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a fun game, especially like playing the versus modes and stuff. I've enjoyed those too.
There is no learning curve.
No.
Nah.
There's the good and the dregs of humanity in that game.
Well, that'd be me. All right, what you got?
Number 3, Gears of War.
I had fun playing that. Not the online.
I played
co-op.
co-op.
The co-op.
Yeah,
the co-op story.
The very first one I played with my brother, and we beat it. But other than that, I haven't really played much of them.
We started the second one. Me and Troy, when we were living together, we started the second one. And like we beat the first one. Cool, we did it. Started the second one, and we're just like, you want to just play Halo? So,
Speaking of Halo, number two,
this is my
the
childhood.
Halo series.
I had LAN parties. I did the whole like the first online game I ever played was Halo, and besides World of Warcraft, but that doesn't count. It was the ultimate shooter experience for me. It had a great story. Had a great community. It was a lot of fun, and it just lately has kind of taken a crap. So, but the memories are still there. The nostalgia. We used to go to this church, and we would play till like 6 o'clock in the morning in some office area where they had all these like wiring hookups, and everybody would bring their own Xboxes and TVs, and we would play just overnight, all night long, for hours. It was great. Maybe
the reason I didn't get into the Halo because I didn't have an original Xbox. I had the PS2, so I never played Halo until Halo 3 came out.
Yeah.
So but I do have fun playing it. And I've had a lot of we did like the LAN party. I had a couple of guys in high school that they would go and play, and I was horrible because I'd never played it, and I didn't.
I got so good at that game.
I do have fond memories of playing Halo because I had the original Xbox, and then I can't remember who it was, but somebody had given me Halo 1 and 2. And I started playing it. My brother was, starting to get interested in it. And then we was like, well, let's try the co-op thing on Legendary. And then I pretty much had to single-handedly beat the objectives, kill everybody, and defend him to win.
I haven't done Lasso, which is Legendary.
On.
I haven't done that on 2, but I have beaten it on Legendary on 2 with co-op, which is very hard.
Very hard. It's one of the hardest things in video games.
Yeah.
Is beating Halo 2 on Legendary.
It's my badge of honor. I should tattoo it to something.
Did it.
So.
And then finally, last,
the ultimate.
and deservedly first.
Yes.
Call of Duty. Just a jab at you.
Yeah.
I mean, what game were we playing a couple hours ago together?
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's a great game. It's I have a love-hate relationship with Call of Duty because
I think everybody does.
I played Modern Warfare 3, or maybe it was the first one, and then I got Ghost was like the high point of online stuff.
That was one of my favorite ones.
I like Ghosts.
And then what's the next one that came out? Black Ops or something?
No, it was
after Ghost.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah,
Advanced Warfare.
that crap came out, and I was done.
With the exoskeleton suits.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Because you got to think like the replay value for these games. If they're gonna pump out a game every year, why am I gonna buy a new game or keep playing a game that I'm playing if you're not going to give me any attention? I'm concerned that since this game, the one that we have, Modern Warfare, I'm concerned that they're just going to stop updating it, and like the community is going to move on.
As evidenced by the Game Pass.
Yeah. And if that's the case, it's going to probably be 10 more years until I play Call of Duty again. So that's fine.
But Warzone is free.
Yeah, Call of Duty really,
unless
Warzone, they hit it out of the park.
But Warzone's great. But if I got Call of Duty to play all the guns and stuff like that you can get and use in Warzone. Everything that I did in Call of Duty was to eventually enjoy in Warzone, which is a great marketing idea. Mm-hmm. But if they take all that crap and then move it over to Black Ops, I'll play Warzone, but I'm not going to have all the cool guns and stuff. I'm just going to suck. So,
you can slowly level them up.
Yeah.
The guns in Cold War aren't
they're not that great.
They're not that cool.
No.
It's not that good.
Also, like, how is because the gameplay is different
and different in both.
Yeah.
The feel is completely different.
So how are the guns going to work in Warzone?
No idea. We'll find out on the 10th.
But I mean, I had a lot of fond memories. Like we would, I remember there was a couple of games in Ghost we would play, and me and a couple of friends and my brother, we would sit down with sniper rifles across the map, and we won one game like 75-8.
There was a lot of maps.
we would just pick them off, and they could never leave their area.
Ghosts
their spawn.
does not get a lot of love, and I don't think that's fair because that game's multiplayer was really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
The map setup was almost ingenious because there was a lot of points where if you worked as a team, you could hold the entire map from multiple points.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was one spot and everybody just went there and it was just a carnage fest.
Well, that's why I like the bigger maps they would have, just because you weren't all crammed into one spot where anybody could just throw a grenade and get a kill. So, but you actually, I had to use some strategy to it.
And like the guns were pretty well balanced. I remember them having to nerf anything.
Yeah.
Because like even like the DMR, like the marksman rifles were powerful, but there was like, they had recoil, there was downsides to all the weapons.
But yeah, our audience voted, and Call of Duty got twice as many votes as the second place Halo, and Halo got almost twice as much as the third place Gears. So those are the top two.
But for over 10 years, Call of Duty's been the online multiplayer that you play.
Halo's sometimes it's kind of hit and miss with the multiplayer, at least the online multiplayer.
Oh yeah, Halo's been taken out, and as evidence with their new game that was supposed to be the flagship of this console.
Yeah,
they and Microsoft is in a weird spot right now because they've spent billions, like $20 billion, buying out
Bethesda.
Not Bethesda, just the $7 billion for Bethesda. Yeah, $7 billion for Bethesda, and then they bought a whole bunch of other small time companies. And to try and have more first party games because Halo's not doing it. They tried with this Halo game, it tanked in the release review, and they fired so many directors since then. So they're gonna have to have a come to Jesus meeting about how to handle Halo from here on out. So
it's not going to be good.
Probably not. I wouldn't
Halo. The last good Halo multiplayer I remember was Halo 3.
What's the one where
ODST?
No, well that is a great game. Reach.
Yeah.
The multiplayer was a great
feature
for that game. The plot was stupid. I didn't care about the story. But yeah. All right.
But that's our top 10 of like co-op / multiplayer favorites polled by you, the audience. So
good job, audience.
You did it.
We'll post another list, and we'll update you guys on what we're planning on doing for the holidays. If we're probably going to do some Twitch and streaming something. If you want to join in on that or play with us, please do.
Yeah.
You can show me how to actually play a game. But yeah, keep in touch. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
We could do a Call of Duty challenge. Everybody can fight the three of us.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
It's just gonna be Tom running around, and me and Mitch are dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, talk to us about what you want us to talk about, and we'll talk to you and name drop you and give you lots of shout outs and whatnot. So thanks so much. Well, we got the punishment. What am I have to do?
Should we spin it just to see what it lands on?
I'll spin just to see what medium we do it in.
He's just like,
oh, anal.
What?
Sorry, wrong wheel.
Okay.
Oh, what have you been doing?
I gave it a good couple of spins. Movies.
It was supposed to be Tom being punished by me, but fine. All right, what's the movie?
What did you have any other specific one, or should we just go back to the other?
No, I'll go back to what you had.
You're gonna watch Samurai Vampires from Hell.
Is there a trailer?
There is a trailer. Give me just a second.
Samurai movies they can't get away from.
And why are they from hell? And why are they vampires?
Somebody said, you know what's cool? Samurais. You know what's cool? Cops. Let's do samurai cops. You know what's cool? Vampires.
Samurai vampires. You know what's cool? Samurais.
There we go.
Man, this.
Oh God. You can't hear anything.
Stellar audio.
The job is done. Go back. I haven't been here in 2,000 years.
I just love the.
Why are they all wearing motorcycle jackets?
It's a motorcycle game, man. Obviously. I like how they have like two camera angles. Everything is on sticks. They have the camera set up on a tripod. No moving camera whatsoever. Oh man, look at that fire fade.
Epic kick. Fatality.
Scott Shaw.
Samurai vampire bikers from hell. I forgot they were that explains the jackets.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts here. All right.
Hold on.
Hollywood's just a state of mind.
We will have some talent from the underworld, and they got it completely out of hand.
Here you go.
You know, I thought you guys were cool. You're weird.
You're weird.
What do you want from me?
I think it's obvious.
Sex? Sex?
That's SpongeBob
Sex.
laugh.
We're a God sex.
I just wanted to see that stellar acting for that scene right there. So, anyways,
I'm looking forward to that review.
All right. Is
it's
it
not me.
watchable? Like, is it somewhere I can watch?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
That's your
We'll
problem.
find.
We'll message Neil Breen.
Tell him to make the movie. Send this to us, Neil. I know you have it.
Oh man.
No, he doesn't watch other movies. He just watches his own.
All right, fellas. Well, that was our
41st episode.
Yep. Thanks so much. Talk to us, and we'll get back with you next week. So goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Mitch.
Bye.
Goodbye
Bye,
from
Mitch.
Tom.
Bye, Tom.
Goodbye from me. Hey, goodbye.
Bye.